and I've been doing these live chat casts with some of our membership, and we've been really focusing on people who can bring to bear some of the information that we need to help us get through these really, profoundly trying times. Help us to find our balance, keep our center, cultivate patience, feel well, be well, think well, right? So I'm here today with Uma Silbey. She is an amazing jewelry designer, and you probably have several of her books on your shelves. Her latest is The Ultimate Guide to Crystals and Stones. And today we're going to talk about what is the difference between a crystal and a stone, and how can we can best use maybe what we have on hand to help balance our house, balance our heart, balance our life. So welcome, Uma. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Oh, it's very nice being here with you. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done an interview, so I'm very happy to be here and put out a little information. I'm supposed to be retired, but I'm
Absolutely.
failing miserably at retirement. I keep writing books and making new recordings and
Yes.
yeah.
I can't even fathom retiring, because you got to keep moving. You got to keep doing something. So
Yeah.
uh, you've made such an amazing contribution to the industry. So tell me how you got started. That's my cat Gizmo. So everybody say hi to
Hey.
Gizmo. He's going to be with
Hello,
us today.
Gizmo.
How how did you get started working with crystals and stones?
Well, like many of us, my whole life, I've been attracted to stones. I mean, from the time I was a little child, I go hiking, everybody's followed her all off the way, and I'm micro hiking, looking at every pebble, But
Yeah.
years ago, probably in the 70s, I was in Venice Beach, and I went by this booth because they were having a little craft fair or something like that. And I saw this
Right.
crystal. I don't know if you can see it here. Let me move it closer.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was actually the first
Beautiful.
crystal I found. And I fell in love with it. So much so, I traded an
Mhm.
opal diamond ring that was probably worth a few $1,000s. But I had to have that
Wow.
stone. And I was at the time living in an ashram. So I had no money. So I traded the ring, got the stone.
Mhm.
And as soon as I picked it up, I knew exactly what to do with it. It's like I've been working with stones for lifetimes. It all unfolded for me. Um,
Wow.
since then, I've studied with many, many shamans and teachers, and it was just an affirmation of what I heard, which was nice, to get that affirmation.
Yeah,
But also, I had been doing
absolutely.
yoga and meditation for most of my life. I mean, I'm still doing it. It's been 50 years
Mhm.
or so. So I could feel it
Right.
vibrationally. And at the time,
Yes.
this is late 70s, if you even mention the word yoga and meditation, people, mainstream people, would just, you'd see them close off to you. So the way
Right.
you work with the crystal, it's yoga and meditation. You ground, you center, you breathe, you're feeling vibration, you're working with the
Mhm.
subtle energy channels in the body. Um, so people like bright, shiny
Right.
things. So when I could tell people, well, this is how you work with a stone, they would do the long, deep breathing and the yoga and the meditation because it was all about working with the stone. It's a little bit coyote
Yes.
medicine, little tricky, but
Yes, absolutely.
it's just thrilling for
So tell
me
me.
to see it all throughout society now. The idea of stones and properties
Yeah.
and color property, it's pretty mainstream. Yeah,
Yes.
we
Yeah.
did our
So
job.
tell us, we totally did. Tell us the difference between a crystal and a stone. What is the
Ah,
difference between a tumbled
okay.
stone and a crystal?
Yeah, they're all stone. They're all rocks, they're rock people.
Mhm.
But people routinely call every tumbled stone, every cabochon, they call them all crystals. And actually, I mean, they may be cut from crystals, but a crystal is like this. There's several types of crystals, but particularly with the crystal with this shape, I work with clear crystals an awful lot because there is not one thing you can do with the color stone that you can't do with the crystal like this. But when
Right.
you have the
Okay.
point, you have a coil of energy streaming up. And so this you can
Okay.
manipulate. It's all about the mind body connection. The crystals and stones do some
Right.
things by themselves. There's color properties, there's energetic properties. But with the mind
Right.
body interaction, you can manipulate subtle energy. And what you change subtly will affect you physically on a micro and a macro scale. So, for instance, a stone like
Okay.
this, you can raise energy, you can pull out, you can send, you can smooth, you can move it.
Okay. Okay. So how can somebody use a quartz crystal, say, to clear the energy in their house?
Oh, yes. Yeah. There are a lot of ways to do it. I cover all of this in my books. My first book was the Complete Crystal Guidebook. Most of the earlier crystal workers have that book. My latest you see here.
Mhm.
But yeah, I use crystal balls and I like to, and you can do this with clear quartz as well. I surround my room. I use either circles or the four directions and mentally connect them energetically. And then
Mhm.
I, within that energetic circle, is safety and clearing. I can use visualization and stones to sweep the room, sweep bodies of negative
Mhm.
energy. Visualization, it's
Okay.
not just imagination, it's very, very powerful. These clear crystals will
Right.
amplify everything, your thought, your intention. Color stones, you
Mhm.
pair them together, they'll amplify the energy of the color stone, you know. So I'm
Right.
quite a
Okay.
proponent of clear quartz.
Yes, I am too. So I think of that because you know that everybody's home sequestered with either by themselves or with their loved ones or their family or maybe the entire family when this is might be the first time in a decade that everyone's been home at the same time. And
Mhm.
we're and there's a lot more energy in the house, a lot more frustration and grief. This is very overwhelming for people, and so they might
Mhm.
get emotional and have
Mhm.
experiences. So, I was thinking that with the if they knew how to, clear the house as you just described, to clear out some of that, overwhelming
Yeah.
energy and to
Now,
ground it.
you can smudge. I presume most people know what smudging is. You can clear whole spaces
Mhm,
with smudging. You can use your crystals to sweep. You can
mhm,
visualize. But what's very, very important, um, let me backtrack. Years ago, probably 40 years ago, I had a teacher that foretold this time. And what he said was that there would come a time where we light workers
mhm,
will be called upon to help. And we, as
mhm.
light workers, in order to anchor down the light among this darkness, which is our job right now, we need to be grounded and we need to have very strong nervous systems, subtly and physically, because, like you say, if we're
Yep,
empathic, particularly, we feel what's happening emotionally to people. We feel the
exactly.
fear and the anxiety. We pull it all in. Now, if you wear a
Mhm,
crystal, maybe a rose quartz or green over your heart center, just to stay
mhm,
heartful, but you stay grounded because
mhm.
if you don't want to pull it all in and have it affect you, right? You want to be cognizant of it,
Right,
but you want to be able to help people clear it and clear it in your house. And what we need to do is
right.
to be grounded, and there are practices for that. One very simple one is
Mhm,
just stand or sit and feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel as if gentle earth-colored stream of light is flowing down from the bottoms of our feet, down through our bottom of the spine. If you just relax your arms and fingers, it down through your fingers, so it's into the earth, and take a breath through your heart center, and then out breath, send that energy down, down into the earth, and just in the heart,
Mhm.
down into the earth. Now that will ground us. Yeah. If you wear
Right.
smoky
Yeah.
quartz, I don't recommend the
Mhm.
heavy black stones right now. It's too unbalancing for this. You need the more gentle, like a smoky quartz, Apache tears, some agates. That will help. You can wear them
Mhm.
as jewelry. You can anklets are very good, but with the
Mhm.
grounding, you need to balance with a stone in your heart center. Yeah, because you don't want to,
Okay.
it's like a
Uh-huh.
tree. You need the deep roots, and you need them
Right.
particularly to have the high branches, but the center
Right.
is the
Right.
heart. Yeah. So the other
Right.
thing we need to do is to strengthen and relax at the same time the nervous system. And we work on the subtle
Mhm.
nervous system in order to affect the physical nervous system. So
Right.
Yellowstones are excellent for this. I've posted on my, probably my Facebook and
Intriguing.
so forth, um, a layout you can do.
Mhm.
But if you take, again, a rose quartz or a light green in the heart center, and then place a clear
Mhm.
quartz, I like Herkimer diamonds. They're very, very strong. Place that in the heart center.
Mhm.
And then in
Okay.
about just above the belly button, place a yellow stone, and about
Mhm.
about 2 inches below the belly button. That's very good. Place a yellow
Right.
stone. A clear one is good, like a citrine rather than a tiger eye. It's too dense, the tiger eye.
Yes.
And then place an orange
Yes.
stone, just maybe a carnelian, over a little bit above the pubic bone. And then a red stone by the
Mhm.
spine, garnets, rubies, rubellite, some red jaspers. You can use the
Okay.
grounding stone there. And then you
Right.
place a yellow stone over the head. No, why don't we do this? A clear stone, a clear quartz. You can point it in, right? Because you're pulling in. And then from the
Mhm.
feet, below the feet, lay that stone down pointing up, and then a stone on each side
Mhm.
pointing in. And then you can fill those
Okay.
in with 4 more clear quartz pointing in. So you've created a circle. And then between each one of those,
Mhm.
place a yellow stone. Again, a nice,
Okay.
bright, clear one. Now, you can use yellow calcite. That's a very gentle yellow, where a citrine is more like, that kind of energy. But you want that solar energy. So that will
Yes.
help stimulate your nervous system, especially if you begin to do long, deep breathing. Take a breath into your heart center and then send it out, right? Like you're creating a
Yeah.
yellow aura about the body. And the aura becomes so strong,
Yeah.
so yellow, that all of that fills your body. That will begin to energize your nervous system. You can increase that with, for those
Yeah.
that know yoga, breath of fire. It's a very good one. But
Yeah.
you need to
Yes.
relax
Absolutely.
it also, because you don't want to blow it out.
Yes.
So that's where your grounding comes in
Right.
handy. Yeah. And
Okay. I have.
that strong nervous system will help us withstand all of this, will help us channel in that golden light for people to help in this darkness, and will help bring the
Mhm.
wisdom and the strength to empower it to give to people.
Yes.
A small Herkimer
Yes.
diamond on the third eye is excellent when you want to channel wisdom to people. So I'm really recommending people
Mhm.
use this layout right now. things like moderate
Yes.
exercise, ginger tea, drinking lots of water. I mean, there's physical things we can do also. And anything I say about working with crystals, you know, when you have a strong nervous system, you're going to withstand things. Now, I'm not saying don't follow the
Right.
CDC guidelines, because we do need to follow them. But when you have a strong aura and nervous system, it tends to repel. So you will tend to be a little
Right.
stronger with holding this virus off. You'll strengthen your immune system. You know, this
Right.
is some energy work we can do for this. You know, and I'm a firm believer in
Absolutely.
doing
And
the energy work with the more, you know, Western science and so forth.
absolutely. Absolutely. And this isn't just about you know, theoretically, we're all sequestering so that we don't go out and aren't further exposed to the virus. But part of what's happening for people is that we're dealing with so much fear and so much frustration and so much. I mean, there are some people out there who are really experiencing some deafening, grief-filled experiences, and that isn't the majority of us, but it is going to be many of us, and so
Oh,
there's gonna,
yes.
you know, if you're not in that group, you're gonna be in the other group that's having to anchor and manage all of that emotional energy for
Mm-hmm.
those people who are really on the front lines and not able to
Right.
process their emotional energy.
Right.
So,
The
you
very,
know,
very
it's
important
funny, I
with
had a
very important with dealing with fear and anxiety is to be present centered. If you are completely
Mhm,
present centered, you can't imagine the future or dream about the past, or because you're just here. When you are here, that
right,
is infinite, and there is no fear, there is no grief, it's pure awareness. And the more that we can be in that space, the better we're going to be with managing this, you know, both personally and to help send that out to other people. Again, that's where the clear quartz
right,
wand comes in handy, that if you focus in the heart center, and again, you can use your pink or green stones on the heart center, and you breathe with
mhm,
long, deep breaths in and out of the heart center. And you can do this, I mean, you could do it for
right,
hours, but you know, I say at least 11 minutes.
mhm,
And then you can send this out.
mhm,
You know, visualize that peace and that calm and that clarity flowing with every out breath that goes in through your crystal and out. You can send it to
mhm,
specific people, you can send it to the world at large. And that's very,
right,
very helpful.
right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So if there was, I think you've already answered this question, but if everyone could have just one uh, type of rock that they work with, what do you recommend?
Clear quartz. I
Clear
I
quartz.
A clear quartz will do everything. There is nothing that a clear quartz
Hmm.
can't do that any other stone does. You know, it's
Right.
and again, if
Yes.
you use a wand, I use this double terminated one. So to send in one direction, it takes a little more focus. If you have a single
Hmm.
terminated, then you can send out, you can move energy and so forth. But the clear quartz, you
Right.
can visualize color, thought, affirmation, emotion, and you can blow it into your stone. Again, in my books, I tell people all how to do all of this. So, yeah,
Wonderful.
clear quartz.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. Again, this is Uma Silbey, and if you can, well, you can't, you might be able to check Amazon, but if you can get to her books, you can also reach out to her. I asked her; she has a few books in stock that she can send to you if you can't get them on Amazon right now, because Amazon,
Mhm.
as of a few days ago, wasn't
Um,
shipping non-essential.
Barnes and Noble,
Go ahead.
the book can be found at Barnes and Noble, and they're still shipping. I heard from my publishing company.
Great.
So, yeah, try
Perfect.
them. And I do have
Perfect.
books, and
So
I will
yeah,
autograph them.
Great. So it's the ultimate guide to crystals and stones. And again, we want to thank you, Uma, for spending some time with us today to just share a little of your knowledge about crystals and stones and how they can help us. And for all of you out there on the Coalition of Visionary Resources page, thank you for tuning in with us. And if you want to reach out to Uma, you can get to her at umasilbey.com.
Yes,
is that right?
You can. Yeah, you can contact me through there.
Wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful. So thanks again for tuning in, and have
Thank
a great
you.
day, and look out for more podcasts.
It was wonderful being here. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.